Hello everyone, welcome again to this channel where we talk about city of Canada, city of Winnipeg, Canada, and everything. We talk about those news that concerns you. And today it's going to be about the Chinese getting into the EV market. And that's something we are really concerned about. So I want you to take a look at this video on the other side and tell me what you think. I will be at the other side of the video and we be able to trash this out.
CTV's Heather Wright now on industry reaction and the road ahead for Canadians. Heather.
Heather, there are still a lot of questions about the fine print of this deal and the impact it might have on the Canadian auto industry. But for many that we spoke with today, there are concerns.
For the roughly 500,000 people who work in Canada's auto sector, the last year has been a challenge. Today, there was mixed reaction in Windsor, Ontario, to this new trade deal.
The worst thing is it opens the door and it's a slippery slope after this.
The new deal will allow nearly 50,000 Chinese-made electric vehicles into Canada at the tariff rate of 6%. It's an abrupt departure from the 100% tariffs placed on Chinese EVs in 2024 by the Trudeau government in alignment with the United States. At that time, Ottawa justified those tariffs on the grounds that Chinese manufacturers unfairly benefited from state subsidies, making it hard for Canadian manufacturers to compete.
I would remind Canadians, cheap has a price. And that price is good union jobs, good jobs that support communities here in our country.
Donald Trump's trade war has had a devastating impact on Canada's auto sector, the majority of which is in Ontario. Plant closures, job losses, and concern about whether the industry can survive.
This just adds frankly, more uncertainty to an already uncertain automotive market in the Canadian marketplace.
Canadian EV sales have dropped dramatically in recent years with expiring rebates, the trade war and affordability factoring into the decline. This deal stipulates by 2030, 50% of Chinese EVs would have to cost less than $35,000, a measure that would help with affordability. The agreement also requires Chinese investment in Canada's auto sector by year 3. But insiders say there are still more questions than answers.
We need more, a better understanding on how those quotas are managed, which brand are. So there's a lot of, the timeline is a big part of it as well.
There are also plenty of concerns around cybersecurity, things like software updates and data collection, how this will be managed and who will have access to this information. Heather.
So it's a really dire situation, and looking at that, I don't know what they are going to do. Canada allowing the Chinese into the Canadian markets. Chinese are not in for a good cause. All they need to do is to conquer and take hold of everything. And for you, opening a door to China, personally, it's a slippery slope. Look at Africa. They allowed China, and now they are in debt and they are controlling the market. And for Canada, Chinese to be allowed into the Canadian market with cheap products, substandard, well, allowing them, to me, comes at a price. Initially, it was 100% tariff on them, and because of negotiations and whatever, it was cost to 6% to allow them into the market. And once they flood the Canadian market, truly you might get cheaper products, but at the end of the day, no more good paying jobs, because these cars will be coming all the way from China. But the bottom line of all this issue is just politics. There's a conservative government in the US, and there's a liberal government in Canada. And just to spite the US, just to spite Trump, they are allowing China into the Canadian market. To me, on the long run, it's not going to be a good one. Definitely, it's not going to be a good one. Allowing the Chinese, I don't buy that. I don't like that. All the same, let's keep our fingers crossed. Our politicians, that's what they know how to do best. Always causing troubles because at the end of the day, it doesn't affect them. Well, that's my take. Allowing the Chinese into the Canadian market, to me, is a no, no. Nobody wants that. Nobody is interested in that. Anyway, peace and love. See you in the next video.